Okay.
Anybody has any questions for on today's session? Would like to go ahead? Mr. Pranay, Mr. Prem Kumar.
Yeah, only Menon here. Only you said the time, like, some in the video they said that it will take 1 month for me or somebody. But like, how duration, like it can go for 2 months also, or how actually it happens, like just
Yeah.
the
So
NC I wanted to understand. Like, of course, it's like concentration. I need to get the concentration. I need to, practically I need to do it and all. But like the real research, like, maybe some people take 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. How it is? What is the actual?
one of the most important aspect when you become a meditator
Okay,
is not to set any expectations,
okay,
because that is where the reason that people were looking for experiences, some kind of a miracles,
okay.
etc. So that when you are too much conscious about the results, you don't focus on doing the meditation right. So
Okay, okay.
you will
Yeah,
automatically
correct.
start experiencing
Correct.
over a period of time. That's
Again, that anxiety will come and it will not yield the results. Correct.
exactly. You
Okay,
start to
okay.
when we are
Okay, okay.
meeting when we are meeting
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
the practical
Practically,
session.
when we do,
Yeah,
then
I
we
will
will need
explain
to understand. Yeah.
exactly.
It
Yeah,
looks very simple, but it's very, very difficult to
that's
get
yeah,
into that stage. Correct.
right. Yes.
Okay, NC, correct.
Any other questions?
Yeah,
Anybody else would
yeah,
like
I
to?
have a question here. Actually, we were talking about mindfulness in between, and in the first video, where to meditate and how to meditate. They were talking about the mindfulness, and in fact, it was equating to the breath observation when you are inhaling. So, is that the mindfulness we are talking about, the whole of meditation?
Yeah, but see, mindfulness is a subject by itself, in the sense that what do you really mean as mindfulness? There are several books have been written, so I would recommend Thich Nhat Hanh has written a book called Mindfulness. So essentially, the purpose of meditation is to increase your ability
Mm-hmm.
to become an observer of your mind rather than become a now today the elephant is deciding everything in our life, as I explained. So that elephant is sum total of all the decisions and emotions and reactive behavior, etc., coming from inside, which is essentially the mind's job. So why we are suffering in our life is because we have not understood that we are not the mind, right? So we are
Yeah.
not the mind, we are something different from the mind. That is, I explained in the first session that your hand is belong to you, but you are not the hand. So you can use the hand whenever you want, and you can keep the hand quiet at your will. But you are not able to do that with your mind, right?
Yeah.
So mindfulness is essentially is the means of knowing what your mind is doing at this point in time, and taking charge as a mahout, and control the elephant. So that is what is the process is called mindfulness.
So what
So
I
yeah,
understood from your view now, what is the mechanism is that you are observing your breath, for which you need to have you should be mentally clear, emotionally calm, and stable state, right?
no need actually. Actually, the reason why you are asked to observe the breath is essentially to find out that you are able to start observing your mind. So, I would like to have a practical session to explain to all of you. That's the next agenda. So I will when I actually asking you to do the meditation in front of me, I will explain to you why is the observing the breath, and what when the mind is taking over, and what you are doing with your mind, etc. Requires a personal coaching, Ranjit.
Okay. So I still couldn't get the real term mindfulness, but I could understand that you have to focus, or maybe you should be away from all other distraction to focus on a particular point, right? At this
Yeah,
point.
you don't need to do anything in the, when you become a meditator, it is not like learning how to drive a motor car. So there is no such, kind of extraordinary skills required to start, because that's one of the reason people have discontinued meditation, because they have not understood what is the ultimate purpose they are doing it, which we have spent almost 6 sessions now. So it may look ridiculously simple. Why I am observing my breath and how long I will observe. How will I know whether I'm making progress, etc. Is something, is the thing that we'll have to drop from our mind. Second is, we should not try to intellectualize the whole thing. The problem with human being is we want to dissect it and analyze what this damn thing is all about. As Sadhguru always used to say, your intellectually certain things cannot be understood, right?
Right.
Intellect is like a knife, so you can cut a frog and understand how the heart is throbbing, but you
Right.
cannot find out why the heart is throbbing.
Correct.
Okay, so just stay with it, and I will hand hold for some more time
Okay.
if you are keen. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt.
Yeah.
Good example, NC. Frog, you can't see. Very good, very good.
Yeah. Any other questions?
NC, if you permit, can I respond to Ranjit's question on mindfulness?
Yeah, please, Ravi.
Yeah.
Mindfulness, even though the video and they say that you have to focus on breath, but a broader meaning of mindfulness, the way I understood, again, NC correct me, is the term whatever you do, you need to do more consciously, more for like mindful eating, as an example. When you are eating, more often than not, in the current world at least, I can see that we watch TV, we read newspaper, we feed our mail, we do mobile and all that bit. You don't focus on the plate what we are eating. More often than we don't even know what you are eating. So the mindfulness is basically you look at the play, what you eat, you enjoy the food, enjoy every mouth, what you swallow. That's mindfulness, basically. It's not just you do it, and then you yourself will see the difference. That's what I understood, NC.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of much deeper
Absolutely correct.
understanding
This
of
is just a kind of
mindfulness.
initial one.
Essentially, what it means is when you look at a rose, for example, you don't look at a rose like a child will look at it, because you start to intellectualize the whole thing. Why this rose is like this? It should be more red, and everything we are trying to bring in our intellectual way of why I should analyze this, why I should do this, etc. That's because human beings have got this big disadvantage that your mind starts taking over even to understand what is mindfulness is. But to understand mindfulness, you have to go away from the mind.
Right.
You have to look at from the consciousness and look at everything in a different way. You have to even look at the mountain and the trees and flowers and the food, everything with a pure consciousness state rather than from the mind. Actually, we have never been trained to do that. So that's what meditation will take you.
Okay. Now getting close to that. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Thanks, sir. Thanks. Sir.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Hello, Uncle Sandhya here.
Yeah, Sandhya.
I have two questions. Number one is, one of the videos said that either you meditate as soon as you get up 10 minutes or before going to bed. So I wanted to know, when is the good time, as soon as we get up or before going to bed? Also, I wanted to know, one more question I have is that initially, so that we don't get distracted with the outside noise or, who is ringing the bell or what's happening around, is it advisable to sit in a place where in the house itself find a place where there is less noise, or should we close the door and do initially so that the distraction is less, or how? That is my query.
Yeah. Let me answer that. I was very hesitant to play this video because many a times it conditions you with some wrong information. But among the hundreds of videos I saw, something very closer to what I wanted to convey was there in this. So actually there is nothing about the timing, duration, etc. You need to follow this video. Please for a moment don't go by any of those instructions,
Okay.
because I'm going to have a more practical session with all of you
Right.
to give you more inputs on this so that all these investments don't go wrong. To answer your specific question, I don't know when you joined the today's session where I
No,
explained.
I joined at 5:20 or so. So I don't think
Okay,
I
you were
missed it.
there when I was
Yeah.
explaining the selecting a room in your
Yes,
house,
yes, I was there. I
create
was there.
space,
Yes, yes,
etc.
yes, I was
So, but going forward, once you start meditating,
there.
the external noise and disturbances slowly will lose its power to disturb you. For
True.
example, when I meditate, this metro work is going on right in front of my house. You know how
Okay.
the hammer noise is so loud. So those things are in Bombay. You cannot find a place where it is
Mm.
absolutely quiet. So
Mm.
only thing, people should not start a mixie and come and the children come and pull you out of the meditation, etc.
Mm.
So those things have to be avoided. So I created a discipline in my house. When I start meditating, I ring a bell, and then everybody knows that that's the time that I need a quiet environment. But the crow comes and keeps shouting, and the birds come and create a hell of a noise, etc. So
Mm.
that doesn't affect you over a period of time.
Correct.
That is the measure of your progress in meditation, actually.
Mm. Right. No, I just thought, Uncle, initially should we do that? Then with time, maybe we will have control over the this. But
Yeah.
initially, should we sit in a quiet place so that we can focus?
And answer your question about the timing, you don't need to follow Arnold Schwarzenegger, because that is something in the West. He has done something. So
Yeah.
you need to. There are certain timing which are very very appropriate for meditation. If you have listened to Sadhguru, he says the Brahma Muhurta is between 3:20 to 4 o'clock, so nobody can get up at the time. So when the sunrise and the sun at the middle of the sky in the noon, and the sunset 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 6 o'clock in the evening is what our literatures are saying is the best time to meditate.
Okay. Okay, Uncle.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Um so going forward, if you have done with the questions, anyway, I would request Malika to share this video. And there are a couple of more video link I have given in my presentation. So you can go through them in greater detail. So going forward, I just want to make a few announcements. One is that I want to plan a practical meditation session in my residence. I want to invite all of you to come over any weekend between 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock, where I will share some more inputs on this subject, and then I'll make you to meditate in front of me, and then I will answer your questions as well. So this is something I want to, you can send your preferred time, but I think it can be on any Sunday in the coming weeks. Second is there are quite a number of other self-development topics, like the one what I showed you, where the personal self-assessment and then coaching and mentoring. As you are progressing with your meditation, we can continue this platform. If you all wish, you can send me your feedback. Then I will prescribe how to find your mental block. What are your basic assumptions? I can give you some test, and then individually I can coach you through webinar or any other means. So this is something I thought I will offer for you in order to continue, because always any spiritual practice like meditation, there are certain criteria. If you really want to take full advantage of it and make progress in your life, one is you will have to choose a guru and a path. I will share some insights into how do you choose the guru and path, what are the criteria you can use. While we are meeting, I will share something regarding this. I don't want to prescribe any particular path or a guru, but I can share how I did it in my life. I can share my experience with all of you. So I would request you to see session number 5 of my video at least once a month, if not more number of times. And then quite a number of books I want to prescribe, and a few videos I want you to regularly see on a continual basis. So I will continue to share using the WhatsApp as a media. So I would request you to take some serious efforts in seeing them, which will continue to give you a recall as well as check your meditation progress. So these are something is very important. But merely trying to learn what I am teaching you, whether you will be able to continue to be a meditator and continue to make progress in your spiritual path as well as the material pursuits, the answer is no, you can't do that, because you need a guru to handhold you, which is extremely important. And I don't qualify in any respect to play that role, but I can help you to choose the right path and right methodology to keep in touch with this subject. So these are all some of the inputs I thought I will share with you. And with this, from my side, I'm concluding this session, and we can fix up the date and time without leaving a very long gap between this session. The theory session concludes with this, so I don't intend to dump you with any more theoretical content for you. I think you learned enough, and I'm sure that you are in the launching pad right now to take off with the highest velocity. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for giving this wonderful opportunity to interact with all of you. More than teaching anything, I learned many things from you. Jai Gurudev.
Great session, sir.
Thank you, MC. Great.
Thank you very much.
Really, it was so good.
Thank you.
Thank you, MC.
Thank you.
We'll decide that time.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Difficult
Thank
as
you.
always.
Have a wonderful life ahead with all prosperity, peace, and health. God bless you.
Thank you, boss.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.